Hi, I'm T.
And this is Honey.
Welcome back to our YouTube channel.
Is your dad? So today's topic tackles both the singles and the marriage.
Yes.
And what do I mean by that? We're talking about 5 ways in which, as a married person, you might still be living single in your marriage. And for the singles, 5 ways by which
We know that's
5 ways by which you know or you will know that you're not ready for marriage. If I had $1 for every time someone comes to me to ask, will I lose my independence, or how do I maintain this lifestyle when I get married, I'd probably be rich by now, very rich. So it's a question everybody, or almost everybody, has on their mind. So yeah, you get your answers today.
Yeah, and this is important because many single people, when they think about marriage, they're just thinking of the butterflies, the other room, if you know what I mean, and the wedding, the ceremony. Many people have not come to understand the work it entails and the reality of it. And one important thing is, in marriage, you will lose yourself. One, there's a Bible verse that says, "Living and cleaving. For this reason, a man will leave his father and his mother and be joined to his wife. The two become one flesh." This, we believe, is one of the most important secrets to marriage. But how does it play in reality? This is more difficult than many people realize. So that's literally what we want to go over today, to show you 5 signs or 5 ways to see that you've left but you've not cleaved, or yes, like you've left but you've not cleaved, or you're not willing to live and cleave in marriage. So let's jump into it.
Okay, so sign number 1 is when you still maintain, or you're still hell-bent on maintaining old routines without adjusting for your spouse, especially in the areas where or your partner is demanding that you adjust your routine for them. That's quite selfish. And one of the characteristic, or one of the traits you need in marriage, is selflessness. You have to be able to put your partner in consideration.
And a practical example is, have you seen people that they insist that they must still do things in their marriage the way they were doing it when you're single? It's not possible. When you're single, you used to spend every weekend with your guys, you used to still have, guy time. Maybe you come back home 2 a.m. or you spend a chunk of your money on, I don't know, whatever it is. You can't continue that in marriage. So insisting that this was how I was doing things before I got married, this is how I spend my time, this is how I spend my money while I was single, and I must continue that same way in marriage. That is showing that you're not ready for marriage, or you're not doing marriage the right way. You've not joined yourself to your partner. And this leads me to the second point, and that's simply that you're emotionally dependent on your family or friends. This goes both ways. You're single, you're so emotionally dependent, or you're so dependent, let me just use emotionally. You're so dependent on your family and friends that it will be difficult to be dependent or to move it to your partner, or while you're married, you're still dependent to your family and friends. And what this means is you're always running back to your parents for advice, or running back to your friends for advice. Once you get married, the first person that should know any issue that comes to you is your spouse.
Yeah.
See, marrying someone is automatically promoting the person to the number 1 role and place in your life. It doesn't matter how amazing your parents are. It doesn't matter how awesome or the roles they've played in your life. The moment you get married, the number 1. We're not saying don't take advice from your friends. We're not saying don't take advice from your parents, but the first person must be your partner. Don't marry someone that you can't look to for advice. So if you see yourself constantly, there's an issue, and the first one you want to pick is see your mom, the first one you want to talk is your bestie, it's a problem. It's showing that you're not ready to cleave to your partner. So cleaving to your partner actually means emotionally depending on your partner for advice, for consolation, for dependence, and all the
and that leads me to the next point, which is the next sign, which is prioritizing your relationships, your other relationships, your friends, over your spouse. And it's basically everything we've said so far. It's that thing of you not recognizing that your partner has now become number one.
Yeah.
So when anything happens, it should be your partner first before anybody else, not people first and then your spouse. It's going to make your partner feel like an afterthought, like they're not priority.
Yeah.
And that should not be so. You are both one. So whatever it is affecting you, your partner should first be made aware, before, right? And I think another example would be if you used to talk to your friends by 10 p.m., which is when you're back from work, you've eaten.
Yeah.
That has to change because that 10 p.m. you're catching up with your friends is the time you're supposed to be spending with your partner.
Yeah.
So if your friends are still taking away that time, it's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
I have an example, and this is something that happened at a point in our marriage where we had a little clash with our parents, and it was a case where I needed to make a decision, and it is either my family or my parents. I love my parents. They're amazing people. They've raised me. They're literally the reason for who I've become today. They've invested. They've made sacrifices.
Hallelujah.
I bite you.
I'm just saying we're getting
But at that point, I had to tell myself that now I'm married. Now I have a family of my own.
Yeah.
So it was a case where I had to prioritize my own family over my parents. And it doesn't mean that I ignore them. Don't get me wrong. But my family literally have to take the first place. And this is literally what she's talking about too. Do you constantly consider your family, your friends first above your partner? And of course, it leads me to the fourth sign. And that is you make decisions without consulting your partner. When you're single, literally, you owe nobody. You can decide to just buy PS5 because it's out. You can decide to buy a car. You can decide to sell your car. You can decide to travel. You can do anything when you like it. You don't owe it to anybody. But the moment you get married, now you have to consult. Someone say consult. What do you mean? Yes. You have to, and you have to literally ask your partner or inform them, because every decision you make now affects your partner.
Yeah.
Your money is no more your money. Your money is not our money.
Yeah.
Your time is no more your time. It's not our time. So one sign that shows that you're not ready for marriage is you're not willing to see how that decision will affect somebody else and run it. It's only your way or the highway. Is that the way to say it?
Yes.
But one sign is you have to say, babe, I'm thinking of leaving this country. What do you think? You won't just say, sorry, this is my visa. I'm traveling tomorrow. From where? From where to where? Or I bought this already. Is every decision you have to run it by your partner, either to inform them or to see what they think about it. So
yeah, right. You're one in every sense of it. So yeah, the fifth sign, the last not the least, is when you avoid vulnerability and intimacy. When you're acting self-reliance, like it's just you, nobody else. Cleave work, right? You're still keeping your emotional walls up. You're struggling with something. You have worries. You have things on your mind.
Yeah.
You work related, anything related, and you're refusing to open up. You have to open up because what you don't realize is when you have your emotional walls up, something is bothering you, you're not opening up, you're going to shut out everybody, including your partner. So it's not just about you. You have to think about how it's affecting the other person.
Absolutely.
Back to what I said, selflessness. Right? You have to think about how it's affecting the other person. So you're no longer single where you can lock yourself up in the room and it's just you in the house. Nobody really cares. There's nobody asking you, oh, what is wrong? And you're just dealing with it your own way. That no longer exists. It no longer exists. You have a partner you have to put in consideration in every single thing, even in the way you handle conflicts, in the way you handle your emotions, in the way you handle your struggles and your worries. You have to put the other person into consideration. Okay, so it's very important. And also it's important that you are vulnerable with your partner. I know that you might not be the person to share your struggles or what you're going through, but now you are married. Right? So you have to be able to open up and just be able to tell your partner, hey, this is what I'm going through, this is what I'm going through. Yeah.
And of course, it also affects intimacy as well.
Yes.
I don't know why you marry if you're not ready to be intimate with your partner. So if you think it's something you have issues with, maybe because of trauma, because of abuse, it's something you should walk through seek help before you get married,
And even if you did not notice before you got married and you noticed in marriage, don't keep quiet about it. Don't keep it to yourself. Don't let the other person feel like they're the problem, because that's what you don't realize. If, for example, my husband finds out along the way that, oh, he has a problem, with intimacy and everything, and I'm just wondering, oh, why is this man not desiring me? You get, and he's keeping quiet about it, and he's like, oh, nothing, I'm just tired. I'll start thinking I'm the problem.
Yeah. Am I ugly?
I'll start thinking, am I ugly? So it's important that you communicate, let the person know what you're dealing with, why that thing is so. And if you need help, if you need external help, then you can go ahead and seek that help.
And that comes to what you said already about vulnerability. Your safest place should be in your marriage.
Exactly.
Should be in your relationship.
Oh, that's so important. Yes.
Your safest place where, like the Bible said, Adam and Eve were both naked and not ashamed. Yeah. You should be okay to be open and leave shame aside in marriage.
Yeah.
So, and that's vulnerability, that's intimacy. Because literally when you get married, you will see each other's nakedness. That's what it's about, and you must be comfortable with that.
Yeah.
And now this leads to practical steps
to live and cleave.
To live and cleave. What do you need to do? And the first thing is you must renegotiate your priorities. Please, see, I can't beg you enough. If you're not ready for that person to be your number one, don't marry them. Please. I'm begging in the name of Jesus. See, your wife is not your housemate. It's not your cook, not your chef, not your cleaner. The person is your life partner. There's a way, I don't know, a pastor that made the picture and said, when you marry, the wife is called your rib, not your, I can't remember, like she's supposed to be by your side. So it's that idea of we're becoming one. The Bible says you leave your father and your mother, two are joined and you become one. So if you're not ready for the idea of the person being one with you, then please don't marry the person. So tell yourself, if you're watching me, you're single, tell yourself, the moment I get married, say after me, the moment I get married, my partner becomes one with me. They become my number one and the highest priority. Now, if you're married, say the same thing. Your wife is the most important person to you. So it is something you must tell yourself. I know you're close to your mom. And I love that. It's an important relationship. I know you're close to your dad. I know you have that bestie. But the moment you get married, you must reprioritize relationships. You must renegotiate it where your partner takes the best place. Don't tell me, but I've known this person for 20 years. That's okay. I'm not saying the person will live your life, but your wife will just take a higher priority. So
yeah. See, that's important. That's important. Maybe married people that are watching this, they've actually left and cleft. I'm just joking, but like married people that are watching this, that understand, the concept of living and cleaving as the Bible says it. We understand. We know the depth and the importance of what we are saying. And
the reason why this is important is that even in marriage, you will face many obstacles. You may face many challenges. It's easier to navigate it together as one. You will face health issues, in-law drama, external friend, career. It's easier to navigate all that when you are on the same page. You have to make a decision. Do we travel? Do we stay? Do we do this? Do we pay? Like, having that same sense of this person is one with me, this person is my priority, it helps you navigate many challenges. So it's just a no-brainer.
What you just mentioned now brings me to the second point, which is set healthy boundaries. Set healthy boundaries. And what does this look like in marriage? It's letting family members know their limits.
Yeah.
Letting family members know their limits. Reduce family influence, or let them know the areas in which they can pitch in. Is that the right word?
Like you can advise me, but you can't tell me what to do.
Exactly. Let them know that, but with your words, with your actions, let them know that your new family is now priority.
Yeah.
Not that you are abandoning them, but this is now my priority.
Yeah.
Another thing is, if you cannot say no to other people, I'm talking family, I'm talking friends, and use marriage as an excuse, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Like, are you really ready?
Yeah.
You should be able to say, I don't think my partner, I don't think my partner will be okay with this, or my partner doesn't like this, and just shut it out there and not feel bad about it.
Oh, this is what we've decided to do.
This is what we decided to do.
We decided we won't be traveling.
Exactly.
We decided that we won't.
Exactly. Yes. So if you come from that point of at least they know that they're not hitting on your partner. Now they can hit on both of you, but at least not one person is to be blamed. Right. So just be able to say no. This is what we'll do. This is what we do not do in our marriage. So therefore, I'm saying no to you. I can't be here by so time. I can't pick you up by so time. I can't pick your call by so time. I can't have a chat with you by so time. I can't party at so time. So that's.
So I think the next point is now build new traditions together. See, you're coming from somewhere, and you're a product of the traditions and the cultures from your family and your parents. Now, one thing that helps establish the new family that you have now is also building new traditions. Okay, how are we going to do our things? How do we spend holidays? So, decide how are we going to celebrate anniversaries? How are we going to celebrate special days? How do we do this? How do we do that? It's okay to learn and adopt good ideas and culture from your family, but it's important that make it your own thing. Oh, this is how we do our own thing. This is how we do it. And don't just only set new traditions. Also communicate this to the people around. Oh, this is how we do our thing. Oh, this is how we do this. What that also does is it gives you that mental space of, oh, this is our own, and it gives you more like building your own legacy. So
that's so important. Especially I come from a family where all through growing up, we always went to my father's house, my grandparents' house, right, to celebrate Easter, Christmas, New Year, for every celebration. So if you're from a family like that, sometimes it's difficult to detach, right? So you want to be able to detach from that, or at least talk to your partner about it. Do we continue this, or do we start our own thing?
What we're saying is not, someone out here is like, you know what, I'm not going to village again. Like sometimes you might need to retain something because they're good, but now add to it. Okay, we travel from this time to this time, but then we also do our own thing. I think it's just an important balance to put there.
Yeah, and I think another practical step to take is embrace teamwork in decision making. We emphasized that before when we're talking about signs to look out for. You're now one, and that is partnership in every sense. Everything you do, finances, where you're going to, what you're purchasing, every single thing, every decision you're making, you have to consult your partner. You have to bring your partner into the equation, carry them along, let them know that this is what you want to do. And if they don't approve of it, you can now tell them, oh, this is where I want to do it. And you also hear their reason. You also hear their reason for not approving of it, and then you both make a decision. But never should you go out and just, make a decision just because you have the money, even if it is your money. In fact, in marriage, it's no longer your money. Your money is now our money. His money is now our money. So you have no right to just up and say you want to buy a wig or you want to buy a new car without informing your partner.
And of course, the last step to take and to learn is invest in intimacy and transparency.
A lot of intentionality.
And I like this point because many people think intimacy and transparency in marriage is automatic. It is not. It's something that you have to intentionally build. It's something you have to intentionally work. So if you don't think about it, you have friends that you are so, you tell them things, personal things, and the reason is because you've built that. It didn't happen the first time you met them. It is from talking, from seeing, over a period of time, you've gotten more comfortable with them. And now, initially you shared something that was not so much a big secret, but later on, you were more comfortable to share bigger things. And then that's the same way to work with your partner. So number one is don't put them on the same pedestal as someone that you've known 20 years. But if you don't start with them, you won't grow to the point of the person that you've been in 20 years. So that is the point of, investing in intimacy. Be vulnerable, be honest, be open. They might not give you the best advice like your friend will. They might not be able to give you the best advice in your first major issue, but don't just say, I beg, I know you will not, let me go and talk to, my bestie, he knows me. Is your bestie, it took a while. So try, just tell them regardless. Tell them not because they will have the best advice to give to you, but because of the role they now play in your life. Read books if you need to. Try it, play games. There are some cards that would even help build intimacy. So, just do everything you need to do. If you can't trust somebody with your own self, then
are you ready
to marry them? But now that you've married them, you have to trust them with your whole life, except to see calabash under the bed. Run for your life.
Your partner has to be your best friend. So
yes, partner has to be your bestie.
Yes, has to be your bestie. So I think with these few points of ours,
yes,
you already know. Are you ready? Are you not ready? And if you're already married and you're living single, you know what to fix.
Just know marriage takes work.
Marriage takes work.
Marriage takes work, but the joy and the intimacy it brings is worth it.
It's all worth it at the end. I promise, it's all worth it. So so anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you. We hope you learned 5 or more things. Did you get what you did? 5 points. Anyway, so don't forget to like the video so the algorithm can show more people. Don't forget to turn on your post notifications so you know when we post our new videos. And share. Don't be stingy. It doesn't cost it. It doesn't cost anything. It's a secret. I'm telling you. It doesn't cost anything. So share, and drop a comment. Let's know your thoughts. And if you have any question, we have a link in the description box. So feel free to click and ask the question. We will be here to answer your questions. So thank you again for watching.
See you in the next one.
Bye.